It started when I was 5 years old, only I was memory repressed back then. Everybody, all kids that are brought there to the cloning station are memory suppressed. I didn't know I was a clone at the time. I thought I was blasted into another dimension, something. Well, originally I was brought there to be what they call a diddle kid. They call it a diddle kid. And my mother knew all about it. My mother was there. She was there when she was younger as one of these people. She basically sold me out for free, but only it wasn't going so good. I'd just scream and cry. And they said, well, what else can you do? Can you do anything in her dancing? So I sang out this song, and a famous person used it, and then more famous people started coming to this specific cloning station I was at, and it just got worse and worse, and just kept on making songs to keep the greasy old people off me, and then it just went out of control, and then they started thinking that I was some kind of freak, like some kind of link to God or something, because I come up with these songs that have been there. Like the way that they do these cloning things, it's a different kind of cloning. There's the one where it comes up from a baby. It's replication cloning, but this is duplication cloning. They grow a fully formed duplicate of you, and they grow them like 5 at a time, because sometimes they come out grown twisted. They have malformed hand or something. So they scrap them, throw them in a chipper, and go with the other 4 for backup bodies. But the way that they do it, they can only put you into one of these kind of clones. It's called a Mark II REM driven clone. They can only put you into one of these clones when you're fully into REM sleep, which happens like after about an hour and a half after you fall asleep. You go into REM sleep. They just have a machine next to your clone that's on a rack, and it's laying there like a dead body, breathing real shallow and stuff, and it's got a feeding tube down the throat, and when a light comes on a machine next to your clone, somebody presses a button on a remote, it says this light says that you're in REM sleep, full of REM sleep, and they can activate you then. If they activate you before that, you'll be all disoriented and go psycho and stuff. But yeah, so when you're in REM sleep, they can just bring you there. I tried to do the alarm clock thing, but when you wake up and you go back to sleep again, you just go right back into REM real fast. That's how it works. It's rapid eye movement stage of sleep. That's how they do it. They call it a consciousness transfer. They transfer your consciousness into a clone, and they basically just give up their ability to have dreams and nightmares, and they just go there and walk around, talk, doing stupid stuff. Like they started doing it around 1944 or 45, and it was all politicians. But then they got bored of that. Like they were thinking they would keep the whole world in line and everything, and under the threat of clone torture, because they can kill you remotely from the cloning center. They'll give you an aneurysm. If they apply a constant state of pain to your clone, you'll die in real life. Either that night or the next day, you'll have a brain bleed, aneurysm, stroke thing. I thought I would have been dead last year by now. Turns out they actually want me to talk about them. Okay. They made me think that they didn't want me to talk about them, but they actually do. They want cloning and the lizards and the hosts shut down. The only thing is they didn't want me to tell about these head chips that they got, and this other thing about gold that is absolutely ludicrous sounding, but I gotta say it anyway, because, you know, it's just different technologies that they have that you wouldn't think that they would have yet.
Sure, okay. Donald, sorry, you said that basically you've been memory repressed since you were 5, and you said that when you got to about the age of 30, they actually reversed the memory repression, yeah? And then you went through this process which is called the awakening. Do you want to tell us what that is exactly?
Sure. Well, they test you when you're there. They say, if we let you in on this, are you going to tell on us? And they give you a truth serum, sodium pentothal. They can scan your head to see if you, kind of like a lie detector type of thing, scan your head, see if you're deceptive or whatever. The way that I got to be unrepressed was, like, I had to let them know that I was their ally, friend, or they were just going to leave me memory repressed about it, and I'd never be able to seek help. I was just going to go to the police. Little did I know the police are involved.
Exactly, yeah,
and,
exactly.
The Russians, this was actually on the internet. I was overjoyed when I first started mailing around, because I'd never gone on conspiracy pages and stuff or looked up stuff. And I go on to the internet to tell people about it, and they're already talking about a little bit of it. So I was like, yes, this isn't going to be as hard as I thought. So anyway, Mark I clone, they call it, I don't know why, they call it an organic robotoid. Even though there's no robotic parts in it, it's all organic. They call it a robotic or organic robotoid, but they don't use them anymore because they're so primitive.
Okay.
They got more side effects. You're more confused when you're a Mark I, and they're REM driven as well. They're primitive though. They come up to like messed up looking sometimes, so they don't use them anymore. They just use the Mark IIs. Mark III is a run around all the time clone, like no REM needed. Well, there's two different ways. They can have it run around as a set consciousness, or they can do a duality thing where, like, it's weird. It's, you have to, in real life, you'd have to do absolutely nothing, like, and totally concentrate on walking and talking around as this clone. You get, like, a weird, like, a double vision type of thing. You gotta close your eyes and concentrate. They don't go so good, like, and Mark IV is supposed to be, like, top of the line. I don't even know that much about them. Hillary Clinton got caught on camera in her Mark IV in two different places in the country,
Right.
on purpose. On purpose. She actually got in trouble at the cloning station because they were like, you were seen on camera on purpose and you're double. And she was like, no, it was an accident, but she just wanted it discovered. They all want it discovered so that they can get away. They make people think that they've been abducted by aliens. They have a set with a fake saucer and everything. It's got a ramp leading up to it. It's small, and on the inside it's all decked out, and they clone people into the place, make them open up their eyes on the table, and they're surrounded by, like, these alien guys with fake masks on that are all going to, like, take turns on this person, and they freak out, and then they wake up the next morning, they think they've been abducted, and they have archives of abduction porn. I don't know, they don't get bored of it. They do it to just random people. All you gotta be is good looking, or, you know, they don't discriminate.
Can I just ask him a question, Lisa, please?
Yeah, go ahead, guys, yeah.
Yeah, I can't get my head around this. So what you're saying is, if somebody's in bed and they're in REM, rapid eye movement sleep, they don't have to go to the cloning station. There's something at the cloning station that clicks on and says he or she is asleep, and that consciousness is transferred to the clone. Is that it, Donald?
That's exactly it. And I'm not sure if a head chip implant is required.
With the consciousness on it?
Yeah, well, no, the consciousness is borrowed, because when the person wakes up in their real body, the clone drops limp. It drops limp to the floor. So they always try to stay sitting in the stance, because different people have dropped limp, like limp noodle, just right to the floor, and they break their elbows, they crack their head off the concrete floor.
So it's just like Avatar, the film, then, isn't it?
It is exactly like Avatar. And even before Avatar came out, like, I was telling people about this stuff, and they put that Avatar film based on Mark II REM cloning.
And you're saying that because you're actually telling people this is why they haven't done anything to you, because if they did it to you, it'd be too obvious now, yeah?
That was what I thought at first, but I found out within the last year that they don't want to kill me. Well, first they wanted me to play fake Jesus for them, right?
Yeah.
And I could never do something like that, to see the world play with people's religion and things. Like, I don't tell people like I'm Jesus or anything. Like, I think that's kind of silly. But then they're talking to me about things and prophecies. They said that the Nostradamus picture book has a picture of me in it, and it says that the next Messiah's initials will be DM, and it's a reference in it to King Dawn and the Nostradamus prophecy. So they're all like, there's a bunch of super religious zealots there that say, oh wow, we thought we were going to use him to be fake Jesus, but it turns out he's real Jesus, and if we kill him, it says in the prophecies that God will destroy the earth and this and that. So they're using that as an excuse to keep me alive, because they want it exposed so that the populace will force them to shut it down.
Sure.
Because there's some countries don't want to shut it down. they want to keep it going. But a lot of countries don't want to participate anymore. These bloodlines and stuff, everybody thinks that they're back from the beginning, they're pure bloodline and stuff. But they're all just inbred people, hardcore inbred people. And they're all people that helped lizards in the past.
Right.
These lizards called Vril. They helped them in the past to find victims, food, whatever. And in exchange, lizards from underground would bring them jewels and gold and everything, because they have no use for it down there.
On that note then, if we can just go to the lizard thing, because that is obviously something that we need to explain here. What you're talking about, there's a lizard aspect to all of this, and you're saying that we have lizards and what I'll call lizard parasite hosts, and you're saying that lizards have been around for a long time, and we're talking about long before even ancient Egypt, and even about how things like the Eye of Horus is all about lizards. And you're talking about 3 different types of lizards, and they're all coming from these deep underground in the earth. And they actually breathe a different type of oxygen to us, which is like a methane-based oxygen. Do you want to just tell us a little about the lizards and the background and all of that?
Sure. It's quite a large chunk of the story. They said that this could cause the end of the world, exposing these things, because they're all over the place. You have seen one before in your life. They walk around in the public. It's why that Dmitry Medvedev, the Russian guy, was saying that if people knew how many aliens were among them, the world would panic, and they probably would, because it's pretty sick. I met these stupid things when I was a kid there. They hang out in the bases there. They just hang out there. It's another reason why people don't talk about the place, because you don't want to get bit by one of these things, because they got this toxic spit, and one of the most painful things in the world. There's a lot to it. I'd only met the first type at first. They're smaller ones. They grow up to I thought they only grew up to 1 foot, 1.5 foot, but when they get older, they get up to 2.5 feet or something. They got red scales all over their body. They got their head looks like a king crab, and the eyes are on stalks and everything. It's disgusting. They got built-in sonar. They're real sensitive to sound and light, because they're basically subterranean troglodytes, like trolls. Basically, they are trolls. It's a highly evolved lizard. They were around back in the days of the dinosaurs, but they didn't get smoked by the comet that blasted the Earth or whatever it was that killed the dinosaurs, because they were so deep in the Earth, they were unaffected, and they just stayed down there. They cannibalize on each other when they run low on food down there. There's other things down there too, things that aren't intelligent at all, like prehistoric ground sloths. They eat those things way deep in the Earth, and there's a couple of weird things down there, but
are you saying that they can't actually survive on the top of the Earth because they do need a different atmosphere to us, yeah?
Well, the sun would blind them, and they're really sensitive to sound, and they're really paranoid. They're parasitic creatures. Parasitic psychology is really cowardly. They slink around in the dark, having humans help them. Like the Danish kings, the wealth of the Danish kings and everything, that was because they were trading with real lizards from underground, bringing them up amethysts and diamonds and everything. That's where they got all their money. That's where a whole bunch of these kings got their money from. Nobody knows where they got all this gold, all this money. They must have found El Dorado. No, they were trading children to lizards. Man, it's been going on for hundreds of years.
So basically the governments and the Illuminati, basically what you're saying is they've been complicit and working with these so-called lizards, yeah?
Yep. And there's another thing to it. They have a unique biological property of their body. Now, it's I know you've heard about it before from the interview with Vinny Eastwood there, but they got a thing on the top of their head. It's called, they call it the quill. It's proboscis. It wiggles out the top of their head once in their life. It is their brain and spinal column, and it goes around your eye, does a spiral around your optic nerve all the way to a certain part of the brain. Now, once it does this, if it fails, it's going to die. No, there's no going back into the lizard's body. The lizard's old body is dead. This is the shapeshift right here. This is what everybody talks about, this morph into a human. The thing spirals around the optic nerve, goes to this place. It then does something called sweating the quill. It does a certain kind of feeling, and the spinal juice in the spinal column like foams out the top of the little brain part, and they're all parasitic cells, and this goes all through the brain, totally extinguishes the consciousness of the previous human, and the lizard becomes that person. They used to be called mimics and doppelgangers in past different places in the world. It takes about a month's recovery time. Sometimes they say people are in a coma or something, where they just have to wake up, eat, go back to sleep, or they've had a stroke or something. All kinds of excuses. But yeah, the things they call them drones, but I've taken to calling them hosts because people always say, drones, you mean the unmanned planes? And I'm like, no, they drone you, they then call you a drone, or a lizard drone. And too many people said the thing about the planes, so I just call them all hosts now. That's what they are anyway, parasited hosts.
You said something about some of these people having so-called pet lizards, and they actually feed children to them, and because they have to feed them children because children have less vaccine in them, which is it all really, because if they take older people, the lizards get sick because there's too much vaccine in the blood, yeah?
Yep. And it's like a ceremony or something. The lizard will be sitting on the person's lap, right? Yeah. And there'll be a kid out in the middle. And, like, I haven't really gotten into it a lot, the whole thing with that, but what they'll do is they'll make the kid, like, not all the kids there are, like, unwilling. Some of them like playing these grown-up naked games, right? And it's all very disgusting. So they'll get this kid out in the center, 5-year-old or something, and they'll be really, how do you call it, promiscuous. They'll act that way, and then they'll go along with it and everything. But then afterwards, they'll say, "You're like you're a dirty girl" or something like that, and she'll go, "Oh, I thought that's what we do." No, God wouldn't like that. And then it's like they set up a feigned anger against the kid or something because they don't want to feel bad. They want to dehumanize this kid before they see it get killed so that they won't feel bad themselves or something. Anyway, I watched them getting eaten. I tried to help a couple times. No. They press a button and they can paralyze your clone. You just flop. And, like, you can still see everything. You can't move, though. But, yeah, they made me watch that. They made me watch all the, well, not all of them, because they missed a couple of them. But the Picton murders, he used to smash them with a hammer in the head. They used to make me watch all of those. Elizabeth really took, like, control in matters pertaining to me there because she was acting like she was my owner, right? Because I was Mr. Special Song Guy, so she would always sit next to me and stuff. She's a camera hand, and she's literally retarded like 5 times, 5 different ways retarded, from cannibalism, from inbreeding, from traumatization, from watching these lizard things and having all this evil stuff around her whole life.
Sure. Sorry, just to pick up on the Picton thing, sorry, Donald, again, you've actually said that they use this Picton farm, it's used specifically to actually produce videos, horrific videos, to actually bring back to these cloning centers for a purpose there, yeah?
Yep. Well, I'll tell you all about the Picton thing. They had cloned him into the place. I mean, the man is still alive, and he won't be alive very long if he starts saying something about a cloning station. Like, I don't know what's going to happen now, because with them not killing me, everybody else is gaining confidence now, and they're like, well, we want out of here now. All the celebrities and stuff, and they're like, Elizabeth's trying to threaten people into silence still, because she wants to just keep it going, because she knows she's doomed. She's going to be vilified worse than Hitler. You'll see. She says, literally there, she carries a cyanide capsule with her. They all do. All the scumbags do. because they know what's coming. They think a crowd is going to surround them and pull their arms off. Like they said, we fear being lynched in the street when this is disclosed to the public. And I said, hey, you deserve to get lynched, really. Like, you deserve way worse. Britney Spears put the cloning tanks in her video, the Break the Ice video. I made that song for her called Break the Ice. And then she was happy to put the cloning tubes in the video because she wants out of their bed. Like, she was all for it when she didn't have any money. But once she gets famous and rich and stuff, oh, I don't want to go to the cloning center anymore. And then they're like, oh, well, too bad. We own you. And she's like, well, I don't want to go on TV or anything anymore. And then they're threatening to kill her. They killed Whitney Houston for that.
I was just going to say that. That was my next question. You said that they actually killed Whitney Houston, yeah?
Yeah, and Bobby Brown knows about it. He was sitting there in the crowd crying, watching.
And what about Bernie Mac? You said something about Bernie Mac?
Yeah, he was awesome. He tried to basically save me. Spoke up for me there. He said, we can't be doing this to a human being. I've seen enough of this. This is foolishness, right? And everybody's like, well, other people started to join in with them. So Elizabeth put a stop to that real quick. They cut him up for hours. Like, the constant pain on a clone, it's only really efficient if you use electricity, but they could just chop you and chop you and chop you for hours, clone by clone by clone, and they made everybody sit there and watch him getting chopped all up, as an example, right? And towards the end, he was cursing me out pretty bad. He did, he knew he was going to die because he's seen it happen to other people before, but and they don't usually do the chop up thing over and over and over to do this to people. They usually do the electricity, just put a constant electrical charge on the clone and they'll die. That's what they did to Tila Tequila to give her aneurysm, but they stopped. They could have killed her easy, just stuck the electricity on, but they stopped. Like, she was looking for more money.
Okay, just to stop you there, Donald, sorry, I'm going to bring David in a minute, but just before I do, can you just tell us, for people that don't know who Tila Tequila actually is, and the story there, if you wouldn't mind?
Who is she? Let's see, washed up porn star, her drug addict, half-rate celebrity that did like a bachelorette show of some kind, and then, it didn't do anything else.
So what was her story with regards to this then? Was she trying to expose it at one point then? Is that what you're trying to say, yeah?
Well, the thing was, she was there for a long time, being used as a sex slave. Members of her family there, some woman named Bouchy, her cousin or something. And then, for being a good sex slave, they offered her the Shot at Love show. So she did that, did the Shot at Love show, and then she's like, okay, well, I don't want to come here anymore. And they're like, we'll give you another show. And, okay, I'll stay then. She does another Shot at Love. So then after that, she's like, yeah, well, I'm not getting any more shows. I don't want to come here anymore. And she was really outspoken. Like, she really liked to push the envelope and dare them to try to kill her, right? Because I guess she had some kind of a dead man disclosure, whatever they call it. If you die, someone picked up something. So they didn't want to kill her, but they wanted to shut her up, so gave her an aneurysm. Well, she went on a video blog or something. It's gone now, but she went on a video blog and said, can someone please help me? Everybody thought that she was being like a big drug addict. She goes, can someone please help me? The Illuminati are blasting me into another dimension somehow. Queen Elizabeth is there, and she eats people, and there's demons there. And they follow her command, right?
Yeah.
And that night she had an aneurysm, or was it the next night? I think it was that same night. And after that, she never said anything else.
Right. And this is brought on by the so-called electrical charges to the clone, basically, which can do that, yeah?
Yep. They just lay the clown down, attach a wire, constant electrical current, and if you're young, it takes a while. If you're old, it doesn't take that long. And they blast your brain.
Sure.
And so anyway, she came... I contacted her because I'd met her there. We'd talked about disclosing together, and all the other ones there were like looking at us like, I thought they were actually just going to kill us. They were just using us for a joke. But so she comes onto my my wall there, and she's talking to me and everything, and I'm like, you gotta tell. And she's like, yeah, well, she's hinting and beating around the bush and everything. So then one night, she went on her radio blog there. This is why she stopped talking to me and stopped talking about cloning altogether. She went on her radio blog, and it was supposed to be a pre-recorded broadcast, and it was all very controlled because they're in her face there. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Every time she falls asleep, don't you dare. So she goes on video blog, and surprise goes live and says, hey, I got to tell you guys all about these things called the cloning centers and what they do to children there. Now, they do this and that and the other thing, and she said, she called it going on blast. That night when she went to sleep, she got a bunch of real lizards up in her face and said, you are going to get us eradicated. Anyway, she was pretty scared. She says she's fearless, and no, everybody's scared of these things. Instinctual fear. After that, she unfriended me on Facebook. It was right after her cloning radio show. Like, I have it on my Facebook wall. She tells all about it. It was the first time any celebrity did. It was, like, unprecedented. So then she got threatened bad that night, and they said that they would bite her to death and then reanimate her after death and bite her and bite her and bite her. So she's like, you're on your own, Donnie.
Now, one of these whistleblowers who made a huge splash in the deep end of the conspiracy pool was Donald Marshall. On December 2nd, 2011, Donald made his initial disclosure in a lengthy Facebook post that went ridiculously viral. For the uninitiated, I want to read some of the highlights to you. He says, "This is no hoax, this is no joke. My name is Donald Marshall. I have been cloned by a large secretive cult known as the Freemasons and the Vril Society and Scientologists, together called the Illuminati. They make replicated bodies of people to victimize in terrible ways. They clone children for men with underdeveloped penises to have sex with. Some very famous and politically powerful people all getting together for a disgusting time. Most of the G20 gather there to discuss worldly matters and watch gruesome things done to innocent people for sport. I have seen this firsthand and will tell all, as it must be stopped. The political people started bringing movie stars and musicians there to hang around with them. They can control who remembers the cloning facilities and who will remain oblivious, even though not remembering still damages you. I know who's involved, the ringleaders and everything they do. It's basically a torture and child molesting factory. I was one of those children, but when I was young, to keep perverts off of me, I started singing songs, original songs, very good ones. They told me to keep making these songs and I wouldn't get hurt, and so I did. Then they started bringing me there every day for songs as the celebrities wanted more. They called me the goose that laid the golden egg, the phenomenon, but I ran out of ideas. Then the torture began. Now, to tell you about the ringleaders, as unbelievable as it may seem, but you must believe me, this is a world emergency. The royal family of England. Yes, Queen Elizabeth, Prince Philip, and Prince Charles are the worst of them. Unbelievably depraved perverts, all showing off for the celebrities that go there. CSIS, Canadian intelligence, are involved as well, including a lot of commissionaries and Prime Minister Stephen Harper himself. They do what Elizabeth says. Seem to follow her every word without question. It doesn't matter who you are. If you have a cute child or a child with a money-making ability like song-making, they will clone your child and molest them. It's a pedophile's paradise, and it must be stopped. Elizabeth secretly owns a few music companies, Universal and others, with bands under contract. She forces me while under the knife to compose for them. If I can't, she will stab my clone, burn me, and have her pervert thugs smash my body there. It's causing me some kind of heart damage and severe, debilitating headaches. One good person there, Bernie Mac, comedian and actor, tried to stand up and speak up for me, saying it's not right to do this to a human being. He tried to have others join him in speaking out against the clone torture zone while there. Elizabeth and Philip had him tortured so badly there as an example of their power, he had an aneurysm the next day and died. No one will speak up now. They're all very afraid of suffering the same fate. I need decent people with integrity to speak to about this filthy business, to tell who's involved. There's much more to tell, and I'm a wealth of information about the topic. Also, Elizabeth had Princess Diana killed by having someone shine the brightest light known to mankind through the window side of the car. They swerved away from it and hit the divider. It was no paparazzi. Diana survived, though, and while either on the way to or in the hospital, was injected with a high concentration of salt, which is near undetectable, and died. She did this because Diana was going to marry an Arab. Diana hated them, knew all about the cloning stuff, and wanted nothing to do with it, but was afraid of being killed, so she said nothing. I know this and many other things that I'd be happy to tell. I beg you reading this to help me. I swear this to be true with my right hand to God. They stupidly put my face on the Megadeth album, The World Needs a Hero, when I was 23, thinking nothing would ever come of it. Google image search it. I still look the same. It shows what I end up looking like after a clone gathering. I must add, they clone people from all walks of life there and chain them down to stainless steel corpse tables or drug them so they can't move, send people into the room dressed as aliens in Hollywood-quality makeup to make them think they're having an alien abduction. They even dye chicken skins gray and stretch them over a mask for realism, as they perform medical experiments on people, cutting them up, probing them, and raping their limp bodies. These victims wake up and think they've been abducted by aliens but don't know where to turn and are embarrassed. The victims even sometimes try to videotape themselves while they sleep to prove they've been taken. To no avail. They're not taken. They've been cloned by the most disgusting perverts in the world. The scum even videotape these abductions to watch later as sick, demented porn. This happens more often than you can imagine. They just keep doing it to random people over and over. I'll be tortured there badly for sending you this. I might die for blanketing the world with this message. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's simply what's happening. What you're looking at right now is the most important document that's ever been put on the internet. Do nothing and allow them to continue to clone your children and sisters and wives and sons, causing them to have learning disabilities, unexplained depression and suicidal thoughts, and all kinds of other side effects. The importance of this is so heavy, people. It's the most terrible thing in the world, and this is your only chance to do something about it. Don't be afraid. Help me, help myself, and others. I sincerely beg you, Donald Marshall. Donald, my man, welcome to THC.
Hello, thank you.
Yeah, I'm psyched for this, man. Thanks for doing it. I've tried to give people some of the cliff notes to the story there because I don't want to just rehash the previous interviews you've done, but I'm sure this is new to the majority of the people listening, so to get us started, can you elaborate on some of the main aspects of what you've been disclosing since that original letter? Anything I forgot to mention?
Well, your intro really was good. I don't know what to say now. You ruined my entire spiel.
Sorry, man.
Well, yeah, that Vinnie Eastwood interview pretty much detailed most of it well, so I don't want to just do another rehash, right? But
of course.
Let's see, the finer points. REM cloning, when you go to sleep, you get zapped. When you enter REM sleep, you get transferred your consciousness into a clone. You don't have dreams anymore. Britney Spears, none of them have dreams anymore. They just have clone time where they walk around and talk a little bit dumber than they normally would be. It's all very clear. It's not like a dream. It's very clear. You slap yourself in the face, you won't wake up, though. I don't know, they just got really more and more depraved over the years. I've been there since I was 5 years old. Was memory repressed until I was about 30. And then I remembered, and It was like Matrix when it floods all back to you.
Mm.
But yeah, so there's that, the REM cloning. Another aspect. Well, I thought there was only a few kinds of aliens. There's way more.
Wow.
Like, I thought there was only 3 kinds of these vrills, but vrills are only one thing. And they are reptilian, lizard type, but there's other kinds that aren't lizards I didn't even know.
As far as your personal story goes, how did you get mixed up in this? Like, where were your parents?
Well, let's see. Little did I know. Well, my dad wasn't there, but my mother was. But I didn't see her in the beginning. I was 5 years old, brought there, and they were going to use me for what they call the diddle kit, to like be molested by, rich old men or women or whatever. But then I would scream and cry and everything, and they felt bad for me, which is rare because they don't feel bad for much. So then this old guy that was there, there's all kinds of Freemasons there, these Shriners and stuff that you see in the parades, riding around on their little scooters and stuff. They're all a bunch of scum. Like, you would think, oh, they wave to the children and stuff. They must be nice. No, they're not. No, they're all ugly and can't get a date and would have a hard time paying for a hooker. So they mess with children. It's really crazy. So anyway, I was crying and screaming, looked pathetic. And somebody said, well, kid, what else you gonna do? What else can we use you for? Do any singing or dancing? And so I started singing a song. And they said, wow, that song was great. Sing us another song. So I did. And then, little did I know, someone famous used the song and this other song. And then after a time, I became this amazing song kid that could make a song out of thin air, top 10. So then they just kept on bringing me back. And for a little while, they thought it was amazing. And after a time, it just became an expected thing. It became like a magical organic jukebox that could kick and a song would come out,
Yeah, I think that aspect is really interesting. What are some songs people would recognize that came from you originally? 'Cause there's quite a few.
Oh, my. This topic, as a footnote, people get angry when I mention this part. They think that I'm trying to brag. I'm not. It's actually shameful because I made a lot of money for evil people and the propagation of an alien infestation, parasiting, body snatching thing.
Right.
Crazy. And I had to mention this part because it's the mainstay of why I was there, why they kept bringing me back, and why I'm still alive. And it's a long story. I'll try to put it in as much of a nutshell as I can.
Sure.
Let's see. The first one I made was Lady for Kenny Rogers. And I sang it there trying to show off for literally this, and I know it sounds absurd, I'm sorry, but for Queen Elizabeth. I sang it right to her at the Cloning Center.
Wow.
She's a depraved pervert. She's mentally insane in 5 different ways. She's got water on the brain from alcohol. I'm pretty sure she has syphilis. She's hinted at that. She was born literally, shall I say, special, to be politically correct. I say retarded. When I'm at cloning and in general mentioning, I just say retarded. I guess people don't like that. But yeah, she is. She's really whack by many ways. And from being in proximity to scary aliens for most of her life. At cloning, right?
Right.
It traumatizes you, I guess. But everybody at cloning is afraid of her. And they all do what she says. I'll tell you how it is with her. Because she basically runs the place. She's not a victim. She's not a hostage. She runs the place. And everyone is even scared to say that they don't want to go there because then she'll insinuate that she's insulted that they don't want to be her friend. The entire royal family is there. Charles is crazy too. He's been around talking to me at cloning ever since I was a kid. They made an exception with me. I was allowed to go there on adults' night. When there were no other kids there, I would go there. And she has nothing, right? She has no gimmick. You see, in the past, it was only politicians.
Mm-hmm.
It was a gathering place, a meeting place for politicians to come and discuss worldly affairs. And in the event of emergencies, they could, talk to each other and smooth things over. But then everybody started getting bored. So then they started bringing Marilyn Monroe and different film stars and stuff to make it more exciting. Well, that kept going, and then they tried to turn it into a little private club where everyone would go and do depraved things and be in this exclusive club of superheroes that can't die.
Right.
You can die as a clone and you'll live in real life. And they have a way to turn off your pain sensors so you can jump down the stairs, break all the bones in your body, and look up and laugh and die and just come back into the next clone body if they have like at least two of you made. Like they can make multiples and leave them to be activated one after the other, which is what they do with me a lot.
Yeah.
But Elizabeth has no gimmick. Now, when she's there, all she has, like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are there. Everybody you can think of that's the biggest people are there.
Damn.
And she wants to be seen and heard. She's desperate. She's what you call an attention, well, I won't say that word, but an attention promiscuous person. You can understand the word that I'm thinking.
Right, whore.
Yes, well, I don't know if you're allowed to semi-swear on this show.
Absolutely. Anything goes. Whatever you need to say.
Oh, fucking excellent. Well, she has nothing. You see, she'll stand up and she'll go, "Oh, I'm the Queen of England," right?
Right.
And wave her hand in her signature wave. And she'll go, "Oh, I'm very powerful. I'm very rich." And that's all she has. After that, she has to sit her fat ass down and not say anything because she's boring. She has nothing. No gimmick. Nothing. She has no talents. No skills. She's semi-retarded and she make herself sound stupid. She has nothing. You can't sing or dance. She's not interesting. That's all she has to say to all of the celebrities. So, when she found me, she then had a little doggy that she could control and walk around on a leash in front of everyone. "Look what I have, this magical boy that can sing songs out of thin air," right? Mm-hmm. So she used me like that and kept me like that. And then, well, there's even more grodier aspects to her and my relationship in the past. I won't get into that, though.
Yeah. Let me ask you a couple more questions about music, because I've heard you say that they use you and others in drug-induced rituals to come up with musical lyrics, and then there are, not Nicki Minaj, but that other one, people like Kesha, who came out and said, "Hey, I'm forced to use certain lyrics in my music. I don't want to." How does this work, and does it make the music more hypnotic? Is there an esoteric element to what's going on with the music?
I can explain. Okay. Nicki Minaj and Kesha both used songs that I was forced to make. Now, I have to go back to 1980. I was making these songs. After I made a certain amount of songs, a bunch of freaks there started thinking there were religious connotations to what I was doing. They thought, some of them even said that I was being whispered these songs, melodies, and lyrics into my head from God, even though only a percentage of them even believe in God there. Well, after a time, because I did it all through the 80s, like Bon Jovi, Wham, a bunch of them, but not all songs for them. Only like 2 or 3 on each album they would have. But the strange thing was, and I don't know why, maybe just because of practice, people only wanted to hear those 2 or 3 songs. They were the headliner songs. And I don't know why. So then after a time, I was a teenager, they started just using songs just from me. Like a good example is this band called the Georgia Satellites. They got a song from me called "Keep Your Hands to Yourself," you know, and they were like a one-hit wonder because of that song. And that was the one song that I made for them. He even went on Much Music here in Canada. That's MTV in Canada. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Listen, there's a bunch of other songs on the album. Why don't you listen to those too?" And the radio would only play that one song. It's because of the melody. Nobody wanted to hear any of the other songs because they didn't have a stick-in-your-head melody. And I kind of know how to do that. After a time, I learned how to, do that. And it does go to a psychological level in a way. Music is hypnotic, right? In the past, after I was making these songs, I couldn't come up with ideas sometimes. So then Elizabeth and the rest of them would start to threaten me with being harmed, tortured, literally, like they can cut the skin off you there. And it feels just like real. And you'll wake up the next day all sick and everything, but it really is a good motivational tool to get what you want from someone.
How has the Vril lizards interfaced with our human elite throughout time? How did they get connected?
Well, it's all because of Hitler, supposedly, but from recent revelations that cloning, it seems it's even way further back than that. But Hitler looked into history and found out about some stuff. And it's public knowledge. He went to Tibet. Pretty much $1 billion expedition it would cost in these days money. Went to Tibet to find out. And then he found a couple of real type ones there with these monks. The monks protect them because they revere all life. Even these dirty, evil lizards that kill people, poisonous things. Well, Hitler took a couple of them because they said that they knew where this magical place was, Shangri-La or...
Right, Inner Earth stuff.
Yeah, Inner Earth stuff, but they knew where to point on a map where you had to go, and it's Antarctica. So Hitler sent an expedition to Antarctica, and they went down underground, and they found another type of Vril, and the Vril type ones. The type 3s are the tall, long-necked grays type of things. Well, and they found under there, they found an abandoned Atlantean base with a bunch of technology. Like, it was like a hangar with a bunch of stuff, like, big place. And so they got all this stuff and started back engineering it. And it worked. They started figuring out saucers and everything.
Wow.
Like, they didn't invent it, though, themselves. They just back engineered it. But Hitler is still at this place. I've spoken to him there.
Wow.
Joseph Stalin is still at this place. He has a lot of say there, Joseph Stalin.
So you say that Hitler was the first to make contact in maybe this round, but the royal families of Europe had to be in contact with these things beforehand, right?
They were, but the thing is, these things come up under Earth in many, many different places. Like worms from underneath the apple peel. They're not all in contact with each other. There's different regions. Some of them have different dialects and everything. It sounds like clicks and gurgles when they talk.
Makes sense. Like the people on the surface planet. We're not all in communication. There's still some tribes that are completely off the map, and we all speak different languages. So that makes sense.
Yep. And some of these Vrils, like the type 1s, they have scales. Some of them are red scales. Some of them have black scales. Like they're under the Middle East. They're under England in some spots. Under Scandinavia. And they would come up and communicate with humans there. But they didn't know about the other regional Vrils. Like, they knew that there was others around, but England knew about them. They used to call them fae folk, fairies, and leprechauns and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Gnomes, dwarfs. Germans used to call them doppelgangers because of their mimicking ability, how they can mimic other human beings. Like, there's a lot of stuff in myths that are true, like Vikings and stuff used to call them trolls.
I mean, it makes sense. There has to be an original source for some of that stuff. These public statements definitely have made me more open to this idea. I mean, there's the Nicki Minaj stuff, but I also wanted to point out exactly what B.O.B. said about it, because he wasn't shy. He dropped about 20 tweets on the subject saying things like, ever notice a celebrity missing their tattoos or piercings? Cloning center. Anytime you see a celebrity randomly lose their minds? Cloning center. He said, I swear I don't want attention or money or fame anymore. I just want to get the truth out. The truth that you've all been hidden from since birth. And probably my favorite, the deception is so deep, like literally deep, within the earth.
Well,
what are your thoughts? Have you talked to B.O.B.? Are you aware of his presence down there? Have you seen him down there?
I've met him at cloning, but he remembers very little, but at least he remembers something. He's what you call memory repressed still. I don't know why they are allowing him to even talk. Mind you, my favorite tweet was Donald Marshall for president. But yeah, we talk on video chat all the time.
Wow. Now, B.O.B. also tweeted a lot about the Earth being flat. Was he just getting too excited about conspiracies he read about, or is there something to that?
Oh my God. Well, I wasn't happy that he did that. See, I don't know if the Earth is flat or round, and I don't care because I got to get the cloning center shut down and all these creepy crawler body snatch things found out about. And whether the Earth is flat or round, we'll find out about that in the end anyway by default, right?
Right. I guess if you're being tortured at great lengths for the duration of your life, you really aren't worried about the composition of such a prison.
No. And the end result of even if the Earth is flat, which I don't know about, I don't care about. I didn't research it. I don't really care. If it is flat, that has really bad connotations for our existence, because then that means that we're all an alien ant farm, basically, and body farm, basically, you know? And I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but I don't think the Earth is flat because, I don't know, it could have been faked, but I've seen the space shuttle take off and take pictures from orbit. Although that could have been faked, sure. Big deception.
Right. NASA's apparently really front-loaded, heavy-loaded with Masons and this whole Illuminati establishment.
Oh, yeah. They wanted me to join the Freemasons. They got a lodge in Halifax here. I ain't joining, though. I hate them people.
Right. So it makes everything NASA says pretty, makes you skeptical.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Freemasons at cloning, Scientologists, Mormons. There's a lot of different factions.
Well, let me ask you about Hillary. I've heard you make a few statements about her. Is she being basically prepped for the presidency, or do you think it might be someone else?
I'm not sure. There was another woman that said that she was going to be president of the United States. They're always big on first-time things. Like when Barack Obama became president, he's not even a real person. I named him, man. I named him. His name is not even Barack. I named him Barack, because of one of my favorite Mortal Kombat characters called Baraka.
Yeah, I know him.
Oh, man. And he's not even a real person. He's supposedly a remade body from the past of this pharaoh, Akhenaten. He really is. And Akhenaten had some kind of an incestuous relationship with his mother. And his wife, Michelle Obama, she's supposedly not a real person either. She's a remade body from the past, with a different consciousness running it. But she's supposedly Obama's biological mother, for all intents and purposes. They were all big on, there's never been a black president before, Donnie. We're going to do this. And I'm like, okay, I don't care. What are you telling me for? I'm Canadian.
Mm-hmm. You've also talked about Mila Kunis quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, I hate her pretty bad. She got some of the biggest eyeballs I've ever seen on a human being. Only thing close enough to the size of her eyeballs is this other radio talk show host guy, George Norrie.
Ah.
And he's at cloning too. And
Did you see George Norrie down there?
I saw him twice.
Wow.
And they all came up to me. I've seen David Wilcock. I've seen Fritz Springmeier. A lot of them.
See, that's important because this lets us know these are people that are not to be trusted in the alternative community.
Well, you should never trust anyone, really.
Right, but if you're seeing them down there, that's a big deal.
George Norrie himself told me this. He said, you're going to take some things back. You're going to go along. And I'm like, no, I'm not. He goes, yes, you are. And I'm like, actually, no, I'm not. And he's like, no, you'll see, you will. And I was like, I bet you I'm not. And he just shrugs his shoulders and walks away, right? Let's see. Oh, my God, Roxy Lopez. Let me tell you about old Roxy. Okay. Without going into too much detail, because, I don't know, make me look a little bit bad for a second. Okay, I had an interview set up with her. And it turned real sour. Okay, this is the beautiful part, because I told people about what was going to happen before it happened on my wall. Well, not on my wall, in my inbox, talking to people. Okay, I'm supposed to be on an interview with her, just like this, right? And she has a, semi-big show, I guess. But the day before I was supposed to go on this show, or maybe 2 days, she shows up at cloning, and she's in the stands. And I'm down in the dirt of the arena. I walk up the stairs. I haven't told anybody about this, but except for my inbox, I walk up the stairs, and I'm like, wow, it really is you. And she goes, yeah. And I was like, so we're on for Tuesday, right? And she's like, yes, but you have to discredit yourself. And I was like, huh? She goes, well, you have to do something to make it sound as if you're not entirely there. And I was like, come again? And this old man is sitting next to her. I have no idea who he was. He goes, you do have to discredit yourself. And I was like, actually, no, I don't. I'll just tell you the rest. I grabbed her by the hair, pulled her out of her chair, and started smashing her head off of the concrete steps of the cloning center there.
Damn.
Started smashing her head off the steps. Nobody got up to stop me. Grabbed her and held her by the hair, and up she went, down she went, up she went, down she went. I bashed her face off the steps, just over and over and over again. Everybody just watched, and then I flung her down the stairs, and she went down in a heap, down to the bottom. It was funny, though, and I said, I'm not going to discredit myself. Anyway, then she comes out, another body, says, you're not going to be on my show. I was like, no, we're already set. We're scheduled, baby. No, what excuse are you going to use to cancel on me? And she goes, I'll think of something. She was all crying and stuff. It didn't even hurt when I did that to her because she had her pain sensor turned off to numb. It's something, they explained it. It's something like quadriplegic, They can make it just like you're a quadriplegic, but you can still move. Mm-hmm. And you don't feel any pain. That's how they victimize people more efficiently, because people fight back, and even if they do win, tear the head off the other person. It doesn't matter. They'll just come back in the next body that they have, on a reserve body that they have there. Like some of them have 5 on standby.
Right. Definitely seems like an intense and violent place down there.
It is, and very pervy.
I'm sure. Can you tell us a little bit about the breakdown of the floors of these underground complexes? I've heard you talk about Coliseum-like battle arenas, bestiality, hybridization floors.
Yeah, I haven't gone to the other floors often. The cloning floor pretty much has like 2 levels to it. The arena, there's usually just one arena. That's in the cloning level. Underneath the cloning level is the growing rooms where all the tanks are. Britney Spears made a cartoon video where she breaks into a cloning center and destroys it. It looks just like that. Cloning tubes, 2 by 2. And they're all growing bodies, different stages of development. And, she said it was always her fantasy to blow up a cloning center because she doesn't like going there because she gets assembly line banged there.
Yikes. Train.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Yeah, exactly like that. And when her junk gets worn out, they just go to the next body. But she hates it. She didn't mind it at first when she was getting rich, but now that she's rich, she wants out. Just like Lauryn Hill, she was there. I was helping her make songs, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it goes like this with people, too. Once they have money and fame, they don't want to go there anymore and get, used by old men. So she made this song called I Get Out, I Get Out. Well, they let her get out because every time she was there, she cried uncontrollably, saying, I want to be free, I can't be in this, right? But she didn't get tortured or anything. She just got sexed up. And mind you, it is disgusting, but so she was a snotty mess. Crying, snot coming out of her face. Like, I can't be here. This place is evil. And mind you, she's evil herself. She didn't mind torturing a child to get songs.
Right. I also wanted to ask you about the catalog. I've heard you mention that before.
They told me that I could choose different kids to victimize there, and I was like, well, I don't want to. I'll bang Gwen Stefani, which I did a few times, but it got old. It lost the novelty. Yeah, Madonna, a bunch of them. I banged a bunch of them, but they were willing. They were all willing, you know. But I don't know why, but they thought that this would appeal to me. And they're like, yeah, we have the catalog. And I'm like, the catalog? And they give me this binder. It's like the type of thing that you would see hockey cards in.
Right.
In little plastic sleeves, about 9 pictures to a page or more. 12 pictures to a page. And they were all kids, boys and girls. Some of them were school pictures. Some of them were pictures of the kids as clowns that they would take. But those pictures, none of the kids were smiling.
Wow.
None of them. They were all plain-faced. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? I was sitting in the stands this night because most of the nights I'm down in the dirt, you know, focus in the center. And they passed me this black binder. I open it up and I'm looking at it, flipping through it. And I'm like, so I'm supposed to pick one of them? And they go, pick a few. And they're all smiling at me as if I'll be very agreeable to this. But it just disgusted me. I threw it down the stairs, the same cement stairs that I bashed Roxy Lopez off. And I threw it down the stairs, and a couple people went down and grabbed it when it went down to the bottom to the hockey boards, as if it was like the Bible or something, right? As if it was like so important. Oh, he threw the catalog, right? And I'm like, I ain't doing that. You guys are sick. Wait till the future, man. I assume you guys are going to kill me, but I'm still going to do what I can. You guys are all doomed. Wait until it happens. I can't wait to see it. And then they're like, that'll be the end of the world, Don. And I'm like, well, so be it. You know, we can't have this going on.
I guess one other thing we should note, I think is a pretty good point, is that if this was all slander and libel, with the names that you've named, you'd think somebody might come after you for this if it was all made up.
You would think that, wouldn't you? You would think that.
But it's radio silence, right?
They ain't doing nothing because they ain't allowed. And in the future, when I do have political authority, just for even calling me a dick, I'll have them put in prison. They're all scared, man. Like, they can't speak against me. In the future, the entire populace will hate them for the rest of their fucking days. Oops, I said F word. Sorry about that.
That's cool.
The populace would hate them for the remainder of their life if they ever said anything bad about me. Because in time, you know, everybody gonna love Donnie. And rightfully so. So, you know, they don't dare. No celebrity, no nothing. And a lot of people that actually think that I'm a liar and stuff, well, nobody really does anymore, but back in the day they did. They would send everything I said to these people, personally, the celebrities and stuff, and then the celebrities would erase those comments and block the people that sent them. Even though those people were against me and for those celebrities, they would ignore them totally, ignore them like the plague. People have even sent everything I said to the police. The police don't do anything either. It gets put on the back burner because the high-ups in the police know who the hell I am and know what's going on. It's that, like, obvious.
In the past few years, you have had several big-name artists coming out about this, which boggles my mind even further. I mean, sure, Tila Tequila is saying some stuff, but then you have Nicki Minaj and most recently B.O.B. both tweeting from their own accounts, #StopHumanCloning. I mean, do you feel a little bit vindicated by some of this?
A little bit, but it really didn't do very much, did it?
Right, I mean, it raised a little bit of awareness, but...
It raised a couple eyebrows, and then people are like, oh, that's very interesting. Oh, well. I don't know. Where's the revolution, man?
It's about those reptilian shapeshifters that David Icke talks about. He's kind of got the story wrong. They're not dimensional at all. They're this dimension. And yeah, they're not spiritual, mystical, or anything. It's pretty sick. But I'll tell you about that in a second. First, I wanted to tell you about the cloning stuff, okay? Now, human cloning, I have to tell you, it's been done since at the end of World War II, okay? I'll tell you how they got it, and the whole shebang, like 33rd degree Freemason knowledge. I'm probably going to die for this somewhere along the lines. It's not good. Okay. Picture this. I'm memory repressed about everything. Couldn't remember anything. I'm still getting side effects from this. I was memory repressed about the cloning stuff until I was 30 years old. They call it the awakening when they give you back the memories. Turns out they had me there since I was 5 years old, okay? And my family is there, my family members and everything. And they said they're not going to lie on a lie detector test about it. It's pretty big. Like, they were going to kill me, they said. Thing is, the way that this cloning works, okay? There's two different kinds of cloning, and it confuses people. Now, there's replication cloning, where it comes up as a baby, right? Put the cells in, make the same person as a baby. Well, there's duplication cloning as well, where they grow you in a big, thick tank full of water. And, well, there's a few different grades of cloning. There's Mark 1 to 4 that I know of. And the problem I'm having is with the Mark 2. Thing is, Mark 1 was around at the end of the World War II, but it was a primitive clone, lots of side effects. Anyway, this is even on the net. Before I started blasting on the net about this, somebody said something about the Mark 1 to 4 clones, and the first one being called the organic robotoid. And that's what it was called, even though there's no robotic parts in it at all. Anyway, Mark II is an REM-driven clone. Okay, now what that means is when you go to sleep, the Illuminati, this is their main form of communication too. They don't call people on the phone. They don't meet at the Bohemian Grove anymore. Since they got cloning, they meet at the cloning station when they go to sleep. Each of them, I don't know how they do it exactly, okay, or else I'd know how to block it. But they can transfer your consciousness into a clone at the cloning station if they have a clone of you. And they used to have to use a tissue sample from you, or I guess they said the cells from a woman's pap smear is like really rich in the cells to make one of these duplicate clones. They used to use kids' foreskins that were discarded at the hospital that got removed. That's what happened to me. But now they said they've upgraded the technology in the last 10 years, so now they only need blood. What they used to do with the tissue, well, they could also, they used to set this little oil drill looking thing over a person's forearm, strap their arm to a chair. And this drill, it had things on it that opened up, right? Now, it would go in, and when it spun, these things would open up. But then when it stopped, the things would close again. Now this is done, it goes in, comes out, in, comes out. And what it was doing, it has to agitate the tissue, they told me when I was a kid, to a certain degree. I guess, like they said, the easiest way to tell a person in layman's terms about it is, you know, when you have a hangnail and you pull it off, and the white stuff that accumulates inside, and eventually it'll form like a scab and new skin, and it'll grow over. Well, to get that white stuff to really work good, they agitate the tissue a certain amount of times. Now they just agitate blood from like a blood sample even. And yeah, cloning is very prevalent. It's like a secret thing among the like elite. They use it for their crazy stuff. You name it, they've done it. Like jump off cliffs, everything. I know all about it. The thing was, when I was memory repressed, I was seeing other people becoming unmemory repressed, and I hated this place and these people. It's a bunch of scumbags doing nasty things to each other, right? Like, there's privileged ones there, and there's underprivileged ones there, and so people are pretty mean on people. And well, I wanted them to do the awakening on me, so I could go to the cops and get the cops on them. Well, the thing is, they are the cops too. Like, this is the linchpin in how the Illuminati NWO works, because like most of the leaders from the G20 countries go there, about 14 of the G20 countries, and then there's leaders from countries that don't even fit in the G20 that go there too, right? And cloning, it's really normal. Well, Britney Spears made a video about this place, because the thing was, to get advertised and promoted and stuff, she had to basically sell her clone, use of her clone at the cloning center. So the thing was, she signed up right away thinking, yeah, sure, I'll be famous. Well, the thing is, they wanted to use her every night. Old men and stuff, old men and clones on her, and real people on her clones too. So she doesn't have dreams anymore. Oh, they make songs and stuff about this all the time, about stuck in the dreams, and Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street is based on this. Avatar is based on this too. They do it all the time, communicate this way. But the thing is, cloning is a flawed technology this way, because your mind isn't the same. You're more. It's kind of like, you know, how, did you ever see Pet Cemetery by Stephen King, the movie?
Yeah.
Where they bury it and they come back whack. Well, they're almost as bad as that. And this is only one aspect of what they do. This is the biggest expose on the Illuminati guys ever, what they do secret, right? Because the thing being, how I know is because I acted very loyal to them when in my 20s, right? Well, the thing was, if you don't act compliant there, they will beat the hell out of your clone, and it hurts just like real life, right? Like this, and they can turn it up to the pain threshold on a remote control. They have everything down, and people are scared to talk about this because of the lizard aspect and the fact they can just keep cloning you and torturing you and torturing you and torturing you. New body, because they make multiples of people. Some people are grown in the tank with deformities, and they just scrap those ones, throw them in the chipper. But the other ones, they keep them for backup bodies until they wear out the first one. Sex-wise, I'm not trying to be vulgar or anything, but they do a lot of vulgar stuff there. They can also, if they apply a constant electronic current to your clone, you will have an aneurysm. If you're younger, it'll take a little bit longer with the electric current, but you will have an aneurysm. And that's what happened to Tila Tequila. She doesn't want to say that, though. The thing is, Tila Tequila was threatened not to talk about it. She was helping me for a minute. Are you familiar with Tila Tequila?
I've had her on the show, and in fact I was just discussing her this morning with James Wright, who's exposing the Freemasons, and he said that he wanted to meet up with her and compare war stories and stuff like that, so I just introduced them this morning, as it turns out.
Well, Tila has a clone running at the Clone Center, and she has to, she pretty much sold it out for her shot at love thing. She doesn't want me to discuss the nefarious deeds that she's done at the cloning station, including to me, and well, I'm not really going to, because that's her business and all right, but well, I might discuss the stuff she did to me at a later date, a different show or something. It doesn't really matter right now. I'm trying to stick to the important stuff, but she's there. She's making like hinty little posts about her, she bounces to the fifth dimension. She used to think it was the fifth dimension. Should they tell people this, right? Because you open up your eyes there. You're like, where the hell am I? And you look at your hands, you're like, did you guys kidnap me? That's what most people say. Am I kidnapped or something? How did I get here? Some people are drugged, so they think that it's a dream, or they're in the astral realm. That's what they tell people, right? The spirit realm. Depends on who you are, where you're from. That's what they tell you. And people just believe it because it's like real, right? Slap them in the face, it hurts, and you don't wake up, so it's not a dream, and man, it's not good. So anyway, I wanted to not attend these clone gatherings, and they were like, we'll bring you here if we want to. I was like, all right, well, I'll tell all on you. And I'm doing it on my Facebook page. I don't have the link up here, but you're on my Facebook page somewhere, I think. So I don't know if you have the link to show people or not, but yeah, I'm telling all about them, what they do there, and there's other stuff. Now, they have these clone parties, okay? That's Oh, and also they get, I'll just tell you flat out, because they showed me, they call it the catalog. They get the school pictures from schools all over North America, and they look at the cutest ones, and they get the medical stuff from them and clone them and use them for sex slaves. Not without the parents' permission, and it doesn't really matter if they had permission or not, right? But this is what they do. I'm just telling you the severity of what they do there, right? Like, trust me, I am not a crackpot. And I don't get anything from this. I'm not writing a book or looking to write a book. I'm looking to crush these people. But the problem is they're the richest and most powerful people in the world, and I'm just one person, right? So,
You said that they've got a facility. Do you know where that facility is? Is there an address or a building? Or?
Yes. They're in deep bases, right? Like this Dulce base. It has an entire floor devoted to cloning, okay? Now it also has another floor devoted to gene splicing. You should see some of the stuff I've seen. Beaver, rats, and all kinds of stuff. They're trying to make weapons for war, and they showed me everything. They thought I was loyal. They started showing me everything. They totally thought I was loyal. Like, my ex-family will not speak to me now. I said, I'm gonna expose this. You guys are gonna help me. And they said, we're not gonna help you. We'll get killed right along with you. And I said, well, I'm going to do it alone. And they said, don't ask us for help. And I said, I'm sending people to you with lie detector tests. Lie on it and go to jail. And then they're looking around as clones saying, we don't want to lie on a lie detector test, right? I said, well, I'm welcoming all lie detector tests, and we're going to line it up, or we're going to line it up, these lie detector tests, and everything's going to get proven.
So have you taken a lie detector test yet?
Not yet, no. I haven't had one available. But the thing is, it's so widespread, the corruption stuff. It's even bigger than what you truthers think that it is. It's they have police and doctors and everything there loyal so that they can have clone sex with like a Britney Spears or an Angelica Jolie or something, and while they're sleeping, because they're like, what are we doing when we're sleeping? It's a big waste of time. We can go there and have lots of fun. So, but it's a terrible, diabolical, nefarious place. I've seen all kinds of stuff. Oh, the Picton murders up in Canada, with that guy that killed all the hookers. That was set up by them. They videotaped all the murders. They used to clone Picton into the place and had him running around talking to him, and he felt like he was like a celebrity, right? Anyway, he used to smash them with a ball-peen hammer. Now, I'll tell you who was there, and this is how I know everything, okay? When I was 5, they brought me there to be used as what they call a diddle kid, okay? But all I'd do was cry and stuff. So they said, do you have any other kind of use? Do you sing or dance or something? So anyway, when I was 5, to keep them off me, I started singing like original songs there, just right out of the blue. Turns out, the first one, people liked it, and they had a famous person use it, and then they came back for more, and I made more, and other people came back wanting to hear more. It was just a kid that was making these songs, right, for free, because they never paid me. Nobody knew, right, totally foolproof. So anyway, lots of people, famous, high-profile people went there. I'm kind of apprehensive to say the people that know me know who I'm talking about, but they're the highest profile people go to these cloning centers, and they wanted to see this kid that was making these songs. Tila Tequila started to come out and talk about them. She went on her radio blog show. She said, in the cloning centers and the things you guys do to children. But the thing is, they told her at the cloning center not to do it, not to help me, because they're trying to play me off as a joke that people will spoof it or make fun and say, oh, they're cloning people. They don't have that technology yet. Well, they really do. I'll tell you right now all about it. You won't hear this from anybody else because they're all scared of dying, but they're not going to kill me because I'll tell you why later, and it's crazy. It's ridiculous. She goes on a video somewhere and says, somebody help me. They're blasting me to the fifth dimension somehow, and Queen Elizabeth is there and she eats people. No, she said the Queen of England is there and she eats people. And there's lizards there. No, she said demons. Well, some people call them demons. They call themselves demons too. Well, then there's demons there and they listen to her. Well, nobody listened to her and they gave her aneurysm there. Well, the thing is, they could have made her die if they wanted to. They just keep the electricity to the clone. They could do it to me like at any time. But I told too many people, and they're all waiting to see if I have an aneurysm now or a heart attack, which it can happen to. They've done this to so many people. It's remote controlled execution, like assassination, that's undetectable, right? As long as they have a clone of you, they can kill you like a bang. And they killed Bernie Mac this way with an aneurysm. It's not good. They don't only have to do the electricity. If they keep a constant pain on the clone, like hard enough, like it'll kill you. But intermittent pain will mess up your heart bed. That's what they've done to me. They tortured me there for like a torture spectacle, right? If you look, I should have had it on my miniature tablet here, but I forgot to. My Facebook profile picture, okay? Just look at it, and you're gonna say, okay, something weird is happening here. I'm on a Megadeth album cover, all cut up. It's like a picture of a clone of me, all messed up with a skeleton coming out of my chest and Megadeth up at the top. Well, anyway, it's a close-up of my face, and people look at that and they say, okay, now I got to look into this. And trust me, I'm telling you, the biggest secrets of the Illuminati.
Holy cow, it is your face.
Yeah, it is, kind of, yeah. Not kind of at all, it is me. I was asking, well, I'll just tell you, Queen Elizabeth got really interested in this magic kid that could make these songs out of thin air. So she had me serenading her because she thinks she's really special. She's pretty insane, by the way, by 5 different ways. She rules this cloning station, basically. Her and Vladimir Putin. All of them are there. Muammar Gaddafi was there. He's not actually dead, by the way. That was a clone of him that died. And all the people around him jostling the camera, the video, the phone video, they were all in on it. He's not dead. That was a clone that they killed. That's why they buried his body in a remote location nobody will ever find, because it's a clone. And, the cells are different and stuff, I guess. Like these, they're grown in 5 months in a big glass tank full of like salty water, and just takes 5 months. And it's no cost at all. It's basically maintenance. They just got to get tissue from you. Now, Britney Spears put in her video. She said a fantasy of hers was to blow up a cloning station so they couldn't make any more hers, right? So for this video called Break the Ice, she made a Japanimation video of her breaking into a cloning station and breaking the clone tubes. And they look just like that, right? And 2 on 2, like one on top of each other. They have warehouses underground with them growing people, right? And, oh man, it's very heavy. There's another aspect to this. It's the lizard part. Now, I'll tell you the straight skinny on the lizards, okay? Now I have to tell you about Tila now. Tila first, because, well, she was on my wall, and I was like, you're going to help me with this, and then she goes on radio, the cloning center's terrible, what you do with the people there, and people don't want to go there, and then after that, everything changed, because that night when she went to sleep, won't say Freddy got her, but pretty much the world leaders put the scare of death into her, and a whole bunch of lizards did too, because they know that I want all the lizards dead, and all of the, now I'll just say it flat out, all of the lizard parasited hosts as well. Now I have to put this eloquently because they said that this is the end of the world event. This is the big bomb that could send the world into panic and loss of order, and what the end of the world 2012 and everything is all about. Well, it's about lizards and cloning. And I'll tell you all about it right now. Something has to be done. These people are like over corrupt. I don't know if there's a word for it in the English language. They bring people to the cloning station and enslave them and have the option of allowing them to remember the memory. If they leave you if they leave you memory repressed, it will give you symptoms in real life, and you'll just think that you're sick. You won't know. It depends on what they do to you as a clone. If they're torturing you, you'll get badly sick. You'll get heart damage, Like, my heart's messed up, and I'm only 37, just turned 37. And, yeah, they strap you to a rack and freaking slice you and everything, and people sit around in a crowd watching you in this big, well, not big, it's a stadium, and it has a hockey boarded ring, but it's smaller than a normal hockey rink. And the celebrities and kings and queens from weird countries are all there, sitting in the stands, watching this weird Faces of Death scenario thing. Made people sword fight. They made me sword fight there. I got all chopped up as a clone. And the thing is, they can have multiple clones of you, right? Now, they got chips in these clones too, so they turn you into the next clone, like, within a matter of, like, 30 seconds. Like, deactivate one clone and go over to this one and click it on. And I've experienced it. It's everything goes black. You don't have dreams anymore. Some of the celebrities make songs. I've made songs for them there about not having dreams anymore, and your dreams are lost and blah blah blah. Your heart this, heart that. Like, I made a lot of songs there.
Can I ask, Donald, how do you know that you're the real you?
Scars and clones. Well, these duplication clones can't walk around in public without what they call a handler. They have to be babysat so that they don't bite someone on the face or start a fire in a house, or they're like they go with the first impulse.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the episode of Family Guy where Stewie clones himself, but he doesn't do the cloning job right, and he creates what's known as bitch Stewie, who's really retarded kind of thing. Is that sort of what we're talking about here?
It could be. They make that cartoon. They make The Simpsons. They make all the movies and stuff. They made the Avatar movie. They own Hollywood, right? So, and they get their ideas. They all discuss stuff at the cloning station like all night. It gets pretty boring there, because first, once they do the sex, and then they do death stuff to themselves, because they can turn. Somehow they have the tech to make the clone not feel any pain at all. They said it's something to do with how a person becomes a quadriplegic. Just the first second before they're quadriplegic, they can't feel any pain, stabbing in the thigh or anything, just like a quadriplegic can. Well, but they can still move around and stuff. They've done it to me. It feels weird. Like, they let me stab myself in the forearm and go yick, right up the arm, and didn't feel anything, and it's bleeding and stuff. It's pretty gross, and all kinds of stuff there. There's nothing to do there, though, once you do all the stuff, and the novelty wears off. But then you're not allowed to leave. If you want to leave, well, they only keep you if you're of use for something, well, good looking for sex or something, or have some kind of talent or something. And if you try to talk, you say, oh, they say people that think they're in the fifth dimension or the astral plane or something, they'll go to the police and say, the world leaders are taking me to the fifth dimension or the astral plane and victimizing me, torturing me, like Chris Benoit as well. They killed him. Well, he killed himself, but the thing was, they were torturing the hell out of him. Like, Insane Clown Posse had a song made about him, and I actually did the lyrics for the song. They made me do it because I didn't want to, because I liked Chris Benoit. The thing was, they had his wife and his kid there, and they started hurting them too. Well, they're not shape-shifting. The thing is, I'm going to tell you what the shape-shift is, and it's really creepy. And this is the thing that they said that could wipe the world. People panicking with the riots and stuff, because the cloning thing, people cloning people's kids, messing them up in the brain is bad enough. Remotely killing people who they don't like, which might happen to me, you never know. Thing is, the lizards. Okay, lizards been around a long time, like since before ancient Egypt and everything. And the symbol, you know, that eye, the eye of Horus with the squiggly hanging out of it, yeah. That has to do with lizards. It's a lizard symbol. It means two things. It's a pro-lizard symbol, and it also means beware, there's lizards here. Okay, there's 3 different kinds of lizards. I'll tell you all about them. They're called vril. The thing is, I'm not sure if it's 1 L or 2 at the end. It's vril, V-R-I-L-L or V-R-I-L. Germans were into them. They had a club with vril things. Anyway, there's like a 1 to 1.5 foot tall one. That's the vril type 1. It's got scales, red scales. There's a type 2 that is not parasitic, but it's still vicious, nasty, carnivorous. They're all carnivorous. And there's a type 3 that's 8 feet tall that has a real long neck and looks like a gray alien, but it comes from deep underground, like below deep base deep. Like they need a methane oxygen mix to breathe, and deep underground they got sulfur pools, I guess, that make this stuff. Anyway, they come up underneath the domed bases. The government is complicit with them, basically. Now I have to tell you about the parasitic aspect of the lizards and why the Illuminati and the governments use them, okay? I'm saying this in a nutshell because it's very important. I want to get it all out on your show. Nobody's going to say this for fear of clone torture, remote-controlled death, or death by lizards 1,000 times until you die by a heart attack or something. But I figured I have to tell people because, well, they're getting me there anyway. Like, they eased up lately asking me not to talk about it anymore, but I'm just going to. Well, the lizards have a thing, okay? They have what's called a proboscis. There's lizards out there today that have a proboscis on their face, okay? These things got it in the middle of their head, okay? And on the top of their head, this is the real type 1 and 2. The type 2 have a proboscis sheath that comes out, it sticks out. The type 1s, for instance, it's like a chocolate chip, it looks like, basically the tip of it. Now, at one point in these things' lives, because they have a long lifespan, the lizard species, one point in their life, they can slowly wiggle this thing out, eject it, and it goes into somebody's eyeball, okay, another animal. Now, it wiggles in by the sense of taste. They described this to me so, like, when I was like 18 years old there, and told me about it different times throughout the years of going there. They can bring you there every single night if they want to, and they did bring me there every night. They laughed at me when I said I was going to tell the world about this. They said, nobody's ever going to believe me. You won't put it together in a eloquent way. People will think that technology isn't that advanced yet with cloning because they just clone the sheep, right? No. They've been cloning people a long time this way. Thing is, the lizard, okay, the thing squiggles in through the eye. It does a spiral around the optic nerve all the way to a certain point, and it's driven there by taste. And they said once it gets there, it has the taste of butterscotch, and then it does a feeling like holding your breath and pushing outwards. And at the tip of this chocolate chip, it then starts what they call sweating the quill. Now, the spinal cord stuff comes out of the spinal cord, out of the chocolate chip thingy, and it's everything that the lizard is. The lizard's whole body is dead. The little lizard thing is dead, and it can't go back in. Can't get back in. It's one way. Once it excretes this stuff, sweats this quill thing, the person's debilitated for an unknown amount of time. I don't know how long. But when they come back, they have to have some recovery time. But when they come back, they are not the person anymore. They are then the lizard. Let me put this to you flatly. The old person's consciousness is gone. The body is absolutely, totally dominated, and the lizard is smarter as a human then and totally controls everything. Over time, it'll develop a rash. It'll lose its hair. Thing is, these things are all over the place, and they mimic human behavior. In fact, one of their names in the past is Mimic. A lot of the people that you hear about in the news that are getting people and chopping them up in the basement and eating them and stuff, frying them up, these are what they call drones. They're parasited hosts of the lizards. They like to make them. The only thing a drone wants to do is make more, have sex, and torture someone. Like, it's a different kind of mentality. It's hard to explain. When they at the cloning station, when they victimize someone, it gives them a powerful feeling, and it's the nerdy way, that nerdy aspect of it. I've got something over someone, but they do that to the extreme. Oh, and alien abductions. Let me tell you something. They videotape alien abductions. They set up alien abductions with Hollywood makeup and stuff. Like, not all of them. I can't say all of them. Some of them might be real for all I know. But I've seen the set. It's a really crappy looking saucer. You just walk up a ramp into it. They never see the outside of it. But they clone people, right? And then activate them when they're on the slab strapped down. Now someone goes in with a gray mask and the mask is made of chicken skin, okay? Just to give it that aspect of realism, dyed gray chicken skin, so it'll look real. And does it look real? Stretched over a mask, right? And they have the mask on. They go in and have sex with the people, and they videotape it and the people's faces to see their reactions and stuff. It's the government and celebrities doing this to people, because I'll tell you how the celebrities got into it. Back in the past, it was a political thing. They bring all the leaders of the countries in together, and they can all chat about stuff and enjoy this, sacrilegious, forbidden place, this cloning thing, and do whatever they can't do in real life. Well, they got real bored with each other because most of them are fat and ugly and bald and stuff. So they started bringing celebrities there. This is why JFK died, by the way, and Marilyn Monroe. JFK was going to talk about it, the cloning station. He didn't want to go. She didn't want to go. They had her there too. They said, we'll torture you at the cloning station if you talk about it. Anyway, yeah, that's like a big thing. That's why he died. Like, man. So anyways, it's not the fifth dimension. It's just the cloning station. And cloning station with your clone pre-injected with drugs. Yeah, the lizard thing. They just totally take them over. They do it a lot. It used to be, it's a Luciferian thing. They said that these lizards were the sons of Satan or whatever, Lucifer or whatever. They're not, though. They're just a species of lizard that survived the extinction of the dinosaurs by being way, way underground. I'll just tell you, I know it sounds retarded. The damn things can talk, okay? But they don't have a tongue. I'll tell you about their mouths. It takes a while. Basically, they have a blood spike, okay? This is what they call a chupacabra, too. They come up from underground different spots all over the world, right? Like worms out of a rotten apple, different spots, and then they infiltrate the society there. But the drones today have erased, well, of 100 years ago, erased any existence of these real lizards from, like, Egyptian carvings on walls. They would smash them, right? Or books that had anything in them about them, they would burn them, because drones don't want to get found out and sent off and killed. Like, this is what I thought FEMA camps were for, rounding up drones, because they've been talking about it at the cloning center. This is where they discuss all political, worldly affairs, and they let me sit in, fly on the wall, because they figure nobody's going to ever believe me that they can clone anybody in. Everybody there is bored of it. The whole technology, it lost the novelty like 10 years ago, right? So they go there and they talk to Brad Pitt and let me tell you, all the celebrities, because they bring them there and they tell them, look, you're here, you're going to hang with us. If you don't want to, well, if they cry and make a fuss like Lauryn Hill from the Fugees, make a song about I Get Out and stuff, they let her not go to the cloning station. They don't activate her, let her have normal dreams. But other people, they really grill them to stay. And they say, if you ever talk about it, you're going to die. They made but the reason Britney Spears went pop, do you want to know right now?
Well,
Britney Spears went whack because she watched too many murder videos at the cloning station. Okay, the cloning station is like a small sports venue, like a dog and pony show, right? It's got stands, seat about 400, 450, but there's different cloning stations in different deep underground bases. But all the celebrities go to an above ground one in a wildlife preserve somewhere, and it's just like an oval sports venue with underground stuff where they grow them and store them on racks 5 high, like bunk beds 5 high, stainless steel. So they go there and sit around and do crazy stuff, and they bring me there like they were bringing me there every night. Like, I'll just tell you, it was like a victimization joke. Like, they would torture me basically in many different ways to come up with a song, some kind of a song for someone, some kind of genre of music, anything. For a while there, they wouldn't stab me or anything. Well, in the clone, like, I don't have scars on me. It's on the clones that at this place, but they usually scrap the body same night anyway because it's so stabbed up. I've been through a lot there, and that's another reason why I want to expose these things. Oh, and also how the lizards kill people, right? I've witnessed the head wiggy thing go into the eye. They showed me. The thing is, the Illuminati are basically using me, okay, to expose these lizards in an eloquent way, because none of them want to be the first person out so that they'll die. Like Bernie Mac he tried to start a mutiny there, saying, we can't have this, we all got to shut this place down. This place is the devil, he said, and they tortured the shit out of him. Oh, anyway, so back to the lizards, the 3 different kinds. The third kind is the smartest, the biggest and the strongest and everything, and they pretty much lord over the other 2. There's different regions, though. They cannibalize on each other underground. Anyway, Queen Elizabeth is really in with these things, okay? Her family has been for a long time. Now, these bloodlines, all that they are super inbred people, okay? What the edicts of Lucifer, like my family are down with this stuff. That's why I don't talk to them anymore. Inbreeding makes you strong. Pedophilia keeps you young, and helping lizards gives you good luck or something from the devil and stuff. They used to do this thing, kill your firstborn son, and it gives you fortune in life or something. And it's pretty sick. So anyways, yeah, all that stuff is, not true, and they know it. They just keep it going for like some stupid club, like the Devil Club. Ooh, we're cool, we're evil. It's just, they're a bunch of, basically it's a bunch of really rich, fat, old people that can't get laid, so they enslave people there to perv on them, right? Drug them, make them compliant through fear or drugs, and use them, because they'd have a hard time even paying a prostitute, really. Like, you ever see Kissinger?
As Kissinger said, power is the ultimate aphrodisiac.
Yeah, he's there. Met him as clones. I met a bunch of them as clones. They all wanted to meet the guy that made all these songs, and I don't even want to talk about the songs thing, because some people have said, oh, you just want to be known for making all these songs and stuff, and really, I just want to shut these people down, because everyone else, there's a bunch of celebrities there, and they're scared, like Whitney Houston. They killed Whitney Houston with an aneurysm just recently. Like, and then all the celebrities there said, okay, we're not going to have any more of us get killed this way. What happened with her, she wanted to leave show business entirely, didn't want to sing anymore, no concerts, didn't want to be on TV, and didn't want to attend the cloning station to be used as a sex slave. But in the beginning of her career, she basically sold her soul. That's what they all talk about, selling your soul to the Illuminati. You're selling your clone to be used by old freaks at the cloning center, or for an aspect slave. Yeah, they do that. You know how they cover up their one eye?
Oh yeah.
That means 2 things. That means watch out, you don't get the lizard to stick the thing in the eye, or like well, it means a couple different things to different people. It means like don't you only half see things, and I always figured it was the lizard in the eye thing, because introduced.
I've seen so many artists in pictures of them doing the triangle around the eye sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like you do your thumbs and your index fingers together, and just look through and put your hands together and just look through them like that, and your other fingers look like sun rays coming out, sort of thing. I've seen so many artists do that.
Well, the thing with the pyramid in the eye thing is the whole symbol is a joke. It's once you know what the pyramid is for, then you know when you're pretty much Illuminati. But I'm going to break that whole thing right now. I'm going to ruin it. You got to look on my page and look at the schematics for the pyramid. I explain what it's for. It was basically a vril trap. It's a giant cockroach trap for vrils, okay? These little vents that went in, they were at an angle. They were lined with smooth limestone, and anything that went in didn't come out, because these crab nasties claws, well, that's why I call them crab nasties, the vrils. I've been calling them that my whole life. So these people, you heard about the celebrities selling their souls to the place, so that's what they're doing. They're selling themselves to be used as clones at the cloning center. Now the thing is, after a while, they have kids, and they want to bring their kids there too to induct them into the family, right? They just want to perv on them, and they're all too scared to say no, and they do bring their kids there and mess them all up to keep them memory repressed and just mess with them. And then they do all kinds of stuff with different technologies that they have there. Like I'm trying to, like I know about a bunch of different technologies they have, and I wanted to tell everyone about it, but not enough time on your show to tell about all of it. So I'm trying to tell about the most important things: the cloning lizards. Oh, and the head chips. I didn't tell you about the head chips, but to the Vrills, the 3 different types. The small ones they use to drone people, to host people, because the proboscis on young lizard type 1s, they're small enough to go into an eye and not ruin the eye, right? Because they're supposed to do this to animals with bigger eyeballs, probably freaking dinosaurs. So these lizards, it squiggles in, the thing takes over, total domination, right? Old person dies, and it becomes a totally compliant slave, basically. Does whatever the people want it to do because it's just happy to live life as a human being now, right? It's totally coherent, and it knows that its life is dependent on it mimicking human behavior, so it does really well. Even with other animals, it's smart enough to instinctually mimic the animal's behavior, right? It incorporates that animal's brain to, I don't know, it just takes over in the worst way. It's a parasitic lizard. It's nasty. Now, the head chip thing, man, I know this is a lot. Like, I had to explain about all this stuff, my total disclosure and phases, because I didn't want to lump it all out in at one time for people, because it's
Well, you're afraid they'd think you were crazy? I mean, it doesn't matter, man. I mean, like, as far as most people are concerned, you know, as soon as you opened your mouth, it's insanity. Whereas I don't like to judge people like that after the first word that they say. I like to hear them out. Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay, a bunch of billionaires were scared about dying. They said they were so rich they can make people die, they can start wars, they can do anything in the material world, but once they die, they can't even take it with them. They're just dead, right? So a bunch of billionaires got together and said, we don't want to die. We want to figure out how to live again as clones, right? Thing is, the clone is just like a negative copy of the person, though. So it's not even like the person living. It's a flawed copy.
Like a ghost.
So the thing is, what they do, they've devised a way, I don't know how. The thing used to be as big as a circuit board, like that was not an Illuminati symbol, by the way. It's like a square,
about the size of a fist, right?
Yeah, they tested this on a Chinese farmer. They showed me the video clips. Had it sticking out the guy's head and everything. Didn't compensate him, just sent him back home. Said they had to do something to him. They whittled it down so that the microchip is supposedly the size of like just a bit bigger than an apple seed, right? And it can totally, and it's a flawed copy as well, but not as flawed. It can totally hold your mental stuff, right? Everything that you are, basically, but they need babysitters because they go pretty whack sometimes. They're missing some stuff. It's flawed. But the thing is, just like those lizards do with the eyeball thing and squiggling into the head, rich people can put their stuff on a microchip and set this into somebody's head and basically body snatch them that way as well. And they keep it secret because, of course, you know, everyone, oh, they can do it to clones too, but there's more side effects if you put it into a clone's brain. So they basically body snatch people with chips in the head. And the lizard thing, they tried to convince me that, and others, that it was a worldwide takeover thing, that they had already taken over so much that all was lost. You better just go along with it. But that's not true. They're a very, very small part of the population, like under 5% or something. But they drone people like beautiful women, and then have the drones marry these men, that whoever wants this woman, and they don't care that it's a lizard consciousness. They just do it, and it's still murdering the other person though. And it's pretty sick. So I had to tell the world, and yeah, I'm expecting to be killed, really.
Well, hold on.
That
Can I just get clarification on something? Because you said that they can't kill you or they won't kill you or something like that before,
Yeah, okay.
but now you're saying they probably will. I don't see the connection.
Okay, I'll get to that part. That's the part that even with the crazy sounding stuff that I've told you already, this is another crazy aspect of it. Okay. The thing is, with all the songs that I made at this place, and they were bringing me back every single night and saying, sing a song or we're going to torture you. Next night, sing a song, we're going to torture you. Sometimes I couldn't think of anything and they would just like stab me and watch me bleed there. And now they're all watching like it's a bizarre Faces of Death thing. And different people want to know what it's like to stab someone, so they send them up to stab me while I'm on drugs so I won't hit them or something. It's like that. It's very sick. And, well, I have to tell you, Queen Elizabeth is there. Stephen Harper, Canadian Prime Minister. Obama is there. Vladimir Putin is there. The Pope is even there. All kinds of heads of different factions of different things. The head of the Mexican drug cartel is there. Mafia in Italy is there. Man, everybody is there. It's like the rich guy's crazy club that'll never get caught. And you have to be real privileged to go there. Well, I don't want to go there, and I'm not privileged there. I'm pretty low on the totem pole there, actually, probably the lowest. So anyway, they'll threatened me never to talk about it, and along as I've been divulging this stuff on Facebook, they've been bringing me there and threatening me and stuff, and then asking me not to mention them specifically, what they've done there and stuff, and panicking really. And, trying to deter me with stabbing my clones there, burning the clones and everything. And I'm telling you, it's like real. It's clear as day. It's not like having a dream unless they drug you. If you're there, you're totally coherent, and you can't pinch yourself and wake up or slap yourself, or people would. And I don't know of a way to block this consciousness transfer to the clones. Otherwise, I would, like be in a tinfoil room or something. I don't know if there is a way to block it up. If there is, they haven't told me. But anyway, they're all there, and since I was a kid, after I started making songs when I was about 5. By the time I was hitting about 8 years old, they were saying, I don't even want to say because it's over the top ridiculous, and I don't want to even endorse this stuff that they say, but they said it was possible that I could be the comeback Messiah for the end times to save the world. And I said, no, that's not true. I'm just a guy that's going to expose your lizards and your cloning, and you guys aren't going to bring me here anymore. And I got all the info when they thought that I was absolutely loyal to them, okay? For years, I acted loyal to them. I even had to almost give myself Stockholm Syndrome to make myself believe that I liked them, because my family members were there. So my mother was there even. So, and they can give you sodium pentothal truth serum to see into your clone, to see if you will talk about them, if you're unmemory repressed or unrepressed memory, and you'll be able to remember all the clone stuff. But once you're unrepressed memory, you always remember everything. They can't keep your memory away from you then when they bring you there. So they only unrepress people that are real ironclad loyal. It also makes you smarter as a clone when you are unrepressed memory. So they wanted me to be unrepressed memory so I could think up better lyrics for songs, because they've given me adrenaline injections there. Like, I've never had that in real life, but they feel really good. They're adrenaline injections. And I've never done cocaine in real life, but they made me do cocaine there so I could do speed rappy stuff, because like Busta Rhymes type of stuff. So can't do that like just off the bat, but that stuff really speeds you up. It actually gave my clone a heart attack a couple times. But yeah, they're all like, we're so powerful, we're going to get caught doing this, no one's ever going to believe anyone. But that's because everyone else only had half of the story. After years of playing friends with them, they told me everything, because they wanted to be really cool with me. They wanted me to like them because I made their favorite song, like the Top Gun theme song. Made that, right, when I'm there. And they're all the politicians want to be cool with me because the celebrities think that I'm amazing and stuff, and they think I'm amazing too, right? Coming up with a song out of thin air like that. I put a bunch of references in songs. Other people have in the past too, like back in the 80s. This band called Heart made this song called Dreams. These dreams go on when I close my eyes type. And it's talking about the cloning station when you're a clone there. But they tell people that it's the other dimension or astral plane, so that if they ever go to the police, they'll say, "Help, I'm going to the other dimension," and then that's not true, right? You want us to police another dimension, right? But it's not another dimension or the astral plane. It's just the cloning station, like the Brown something massacre, Brownsville massacre down in Texas somewhere. Well, that was all about them. The children of the fold got murdered, a big religious cult. They all got murdered and chopped up. Well, the fold was the cloning station, and they were going there and getting freaked on by a bunch of elderly, rich perverts. And then they didn't want to anymore. And they said, "Leave us alone. We have computers. We're going to tell all about the fold." And they went there, killed them all. The Picton stuff was really unsettling, disturbing, because, well, Elizabeth wanted to be real close on hand to me because everybody wanted to look at me, talk to me. And I was like focused on with the spotlight there at this place because I did these songs and different money-making ideas for different people. So she always wanted to be around me to get in on the spotlight. She's like that. She's like a camera hand for all the celebrities that are there. So she was always around me. Now, the thing is, she said to strengthen my mind, she wanted me to watch all of the Picton murders. And they had a camera in the corner of the room where he did these murders. The thing was, he would walk a woman, the hooker, over to a painting on the wall, facing that way, and say, "Do you like this painting? My brother painted it for me." Put his arm around the woman, and with his other hand, he'd reach in back of his pants and pull out a ball-peen hammer and smack her right in the back of the head. And that was it. And he used to almost have to give her like 2 or 3 or something. And one time, one of the hookers got him. I'll tell you about that some other time or something. But he got them all. He said, I asked him one time at the cloning station, because they would bring him there and ask him what it was like and everything. And like he was a celebrity or something. It was weird. And they're all trying to act evil like they're vampires or something. And he would talk and stuff. And I asked him, they asked me if I had any questions for him. I said, "Why a ball-peen hammer?" And he said, "Well, normal hammer has a claw in it, carpenter's hammer. And if I had to do a second strike, the claw might get hooked on somebody's clothing, one of the girls' clothing, and it might, when on my drawback, it might hook on. Then he's ruined because he was just a skinny old man." And yeah, but Elizabeth used to make me watch them. They have 2 big screens at the cloning station over the stands, one on either side, right, so that people in the stands can look both ways. Well, a lot of people can't watch them. A lot of people want to act evil so they'll feel safe there, because the more evil that you are, the more they're going to leave you alone. So there's people, man, they psych themselves into believing that they're evil too, just so that they'll feel safe, because they've seen these lizards and people getting tortured and killed, and they don't want any badness on them. So they try to act even more evil than the other people that are there. But yeah,
so how does this relate to you being afraid that they're going to kill you, but also saying that they can't?
Well, the thing with the can't, they said that a bunch of religious things around the world, including the Vatican, says there. Well, not all of the bishops are there. The popes, like cronies, the Pope's cronies there. That not all of them are there, but they said that they think that I'm the next comeback Messiah guy. And as I said, I don't endorse these claims. And a bunch of superstitious people said that if I get killed, that it's going to be the end of the world. And they translated that into saying that if I get killed, people are going to know that all the stuff I'm saying is real, and they're going to freak out and the world end faster. But they're just trying to put it forward in a calm, concise way. Like, they do this lizard thing a lot, like in a lot of different countries. It's not just an isolated thing, and these things walk around all over the place. There is a way to detect them. It's you have to detect them with a CT scan or an MRI. Well, they're gonna have to do something about it, because the thing is, sometimes these people, they get a pet lizard, one of their very own. Like Elizabeth's one is called Matilda, and Kissinger's one is called Herbert, right? And they occasionally get a hold of a real kid and bring it to the cloning station and feed a kid to one of these lizards. It's like Alf, the show Alf, runs around trying to eat cats and stuff. Everybody thinks it's cute. Well, these things, their favorite food is human kid, because it has less vaccinations in it. Because some vaccinations, after a certain age, will, if they drain the blood out of a thing, the real lizard will die from the vaccinations, or get real sick, or taste bad or something to them. So they get kids, they put them in a pit with this thing sometimes. I've seen it there. They just showed me so much stuff flat out, thinking that I'd never be able to cohesively put it all together to tell people about it in a believable fashion, and that the technology of doing this is too advanced for people to believe. But after seeing all that I've seen, I have to tell as many people as I can, because they kill people with these lizards, and you know, I don't want to walk around in a world with those parasited human hosts in it. The thing is, what people have to do, it's going to have to be a military thing. Like, the military will have to perform a coup, because I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but Obama is down with the Vril. Okay? Vladimir Putin, he's down with them. They're all scared. Like, the Illuminati thing is a big united thing, but it's united through fear, basically, right? Because if one person comes out and says, oh, I'm going to tell, that person dies real quick. And then the other people look and go, ooh, I don't want to be the next one, right? But what they're saying about me, with the religious people there, and drones don't want to get X'd out either, so they're really harsh on people that talk about them. So they're saying that I'm the next New Age Jesus there, and I'm not endorsing this in any way, by the way. There's people on the internet that say this stuff, and they're not. They're just crazy people. And I'm not saying it either, but they all say it, and they said I'm in the Nostradamus prophecies and picture book. They said there's a picture of me in it, and that I'm going to save the world from something. And I'm just going to inform the world about the parasitical lizards that the government are letting people get droned, and sacrificing people to gods they don't even believe in, just so it'll be like some dark evil club that they can all belong to something, right? And it goes back pretty far, like long ways. Yeah, it explains on my wall a lot more. I pretty much said just about everything. I mean, I don't know. I was frantic when I wrote my original letter, because I didn't know how to explain everything. So I just stuck to the cloning aspect of everything, because I figured if I put lizards in it as well, people were going to go, whoa, change the channel. But so I pretty much told everybody in phases, just so that people wouldn't have too much to wrap their head around. But it's the most important stuff in the world, like chemtrails and MK Ultra and all that is done by them. And MK Ultra, you need a clone of the person to use MK Ultra on someone. It's just all kinds of different technologies that they have. And they used to call themselves the Thule, Thule. Well, they had an abandoned base down there. They found all kinds of stuff, and they back-engineered all kinds of stuff. And the Vril Society from Germany started doing it. And then the Americans took their stuff, and the Russians took some stuff too, and then they all started making stuff. Man, but I know about a lot of the stuff. They told me all about it, and I'm telling the world. But yeah, it's not good, because other people have died.